Okay, can I tell you about our puzzle that we have that tells you how to go to heaven? Do you know how to go to heaven?
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay. And you have children.
Yeah.
Oh, me, it would be
We
great.
don't go to church.
You don't go to church either, not in church. I'm sorry.
No.
But you do have children.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
let's look at this. And this puzzle, I think you can be excited about it because it really will tell you how to go to heaven. It's really in real 5 easy, simple steps. But one thing it does happen, a lot of people think, oh, I can work that puzzle and I'll do it my way, and they can't. They struggle with it. But this puzzle really simply tells us, it tells us in the beginning that God says that in the beginning He created heaven and earth. That's all good. You know, if you stop and look up in the sky and see the clouds in the clear sky, the sun coming up that warms us in the morning, we know that God created something awesome and great. Something then happened to come into the world that people began to do wrong things. They did things that didn't please God. It could even be something you even think or that you say or that you do that displeases God. That's something I call, but do you know, you might know what it is. Is it, what would you call something that displeases God?
Disobedient.
Well, as we call it sin. That's that 3-letter word, sin. It displeases God, simply. And the Bible tells us that we have all sinned. All, you and me and your children, we've all sinned and become short of the glory of God. We've all. So once we had the beautiful earth and heaven, we sinned. Where does that leave us? God so loved the world that He had created that He gave His only begotten Son, Jesus Christ. And He came and lived in the world and died for us and gave His blood on the cross. That's the reason we use red, to show that He gave His blood. And that cleanses us from our sin. The book in the Bible and Romans, it tells us that but God shows His love for us, and while we're still sinners, Christ died for us. Christ, when we're still sinners, not anything we can do, it's something He did. And if we accept that, it makes us clean. That's the reason we use this clean one. And John 1:12 in our Bible says that Christ says that we can have the right to become children of God. We call it Christians. We're also children of God because we have believed in Jesus and believed He was the Son of God and believed He died for us. But if we believe that, then that's not quite enough. Because of that, and because we love God, because we love Christ and what He did for us, we should continue to grow. And Hebrews tells us in 13:5 that we should continue to do what's right. And another thing I use is the word G-R-O-W. You know how to spell G-R-O-W, and that G means go to church. You said you don't go to church. Go to church and learn to meet other people in the church and what the pastor's saying and what the Bible is saying as you read it in church. The next thing, we should obey God. This awesome God that created heaven and earth, we should obey God. Then the third thing, we should obey God. We should read the Bible, and then we should witness God's love to others. Go to church, obey God, read the Bible. I got the R to go backwards. Go to church, read the Bible, obey God, and then witness God's love to other people. That's it. Do you see how simple it is? If you get it right. But what you might do, you might try it. Say, well, I can do it on my own. I don't need any instruction. I don't need any help. And so some people that work the puzzle have trouble working the puzzle because they just try to do it some other way. Would you like to try to work the puzzle?
Yeah, I may try to work it.
You will? Okay,
Yeah.
Good. Now take a good look at it. I encourage people. And if you want to, you can take your camera and take a picture of it. Take it home.
Afterwards.
Okay, good. Have you had a good look at it? You remember the colors and why they're important? Okay, I'm going to move them around and see if we can put it together. Sometimes it's not as easy as it looks.
Oh, I'm good at putting puzzles
There are only
together.
5 pieces, so there you go.
I like it.
And your name was Joan, you
My
said?
name is Joan, yeah.
Good. And you have 4 children.
Yes.
I wish they were here with you.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, incidentally, did you see my little puzzle?
Yeah.
I don't want to put it together now for you because it would give you a hint.
Let's see, the ends usually go like this. Let's see, like
I'm going to just put it out of the way because I don't want to show you how to do it with my little puzzle.
that. No, that's not right. That's not right.
We have some young children that are pretty good. Maybe they have a photogenic memory, but they can do it pretty quickly. And then other people with high education just never can get it unless I help them. Hey, you got 2 pieces together. Great. You got those 2. You're good.
Yeah.
You're 40%. You're 2 out of 5 already. I think that's as quick as I've ever seen anybody get the first 2. Because see, the first 2 pieces tells us that God loved the world and then we sinned. So we already know the first 2 steps. Oh, did I tell you it has to be a square? When you're done, it does have to be a square. Not a rectangle, not a trapezoid. It has to be a square.
Looks like I'm having trouble.
They all fit nice, but it's not a square, is it?
You sure there's not one missing here?
No, no.
I think I need help.
Well, a lot of people need help, and that's why we have Christian friends that will help us along the way. So let me see if I can help you. What is the opposite of black? That's a little hint I give people. White. So I always put white opposite black, and that's a good way to think. Black and white are opposite. So let's put those opposite, and I think you'll see now things are beginning to come together. Oh, look at what, look, you got another one. Great.
Oh, that's not right. That's not a
What
square.
in the world? You know, that looks sort of like a diamond or a
That's not
triangle.
square, that's for sure.
What in the world? That red one, well, you have to have them all there. It has to be a square.
Looks like I need help, doesn't it? You sure there's not more than one way to do it?
No, you know, a lot of people think I can do it my way.
Yeah.
A lot of people
I
think they
tried
can
my
go to
way,
heaven
but
their way, and it doesn't work.
I tried my
There's
way,
only
but
one
some-
way, and the Bible clearly tells us through these verses how to get to
I
heaven.
guess you need to help me.
Okay. Well, I think the important thing to remember, and you did pretty well. First thing to remember is that God loved the world, and in the beginning, He created heaven and earth. That's the reason we use this gold-colored piece, because it makes us think of something good and valuable. But then we use a dark piece to tell us that sin came into the world. That's anything, you remember what it is? Anything that you think, say, or do that displeases God. That came into the world. And then God knew, and I know that God made plans for that sin. And He sent His Son into the world, and He died to pay for our sin, that we might be forgiven. So that's why we use red. Romans 5:8 says that God shows His love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. So God sent Christ in, nothing we did. He sent Christ to die to pay for our sin. Okay, then now, and okay, I helped you with that piece. Let me see if you can go from there.
Well, you said this was the opposite of black, right?
You were listening well. Okay.
And,
And then if the blood, you believe in the blood, it makes us clean. And then you put the green in. That's great. Good deal.
so I want to take a picture, take it home.
Do
for my
it
children.
and share it with your children. Also, your husband as well.
Oh, okay.
And you can share it with him. I'll tell you something else you can do what we did. We can take even little pieces of cardboard or felt, and you see how I'm putting it together here just like yours. We put the little black for sin.
Okay.
Okay. We put the red here. Remember we put the white opposite the black. We put the red here to show the blood of Christ. And we put the green there to show that we're to continue to grow as Christians. You can make one like that. You can make it out of a piece of wood. You can make it that big. You can make it any way you want to. But remember those 5 colors.
But there's only one way.
Only one way. And I think I have something else I'd like to give you, because this is a little book called the Wordless Book. And I have one little piece in there that this tells the same story of a little book with the same color words in it. Would you take one of those home?
Read yet.
Great. I wish you would.
They're the colors.
They have the colors right there. They have the same Bible verses, and they really tell you how to receive
Oh,
forgiveness.
look, there's a little book right here.
That little one of your own. There are those colors.
Well, thank you very much.
Did you get your picture?
I did.
Good. Good. We love you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's great, guys.
That's great.
That's great.
That's great.
I'm just sitting here thinking, I think we've got it all covered, to tell you the
Yeah.
truth. Okay, the only one, you've sort of incorporated into everything. Okay, so, hey, what I was going to do initially was start out with you just straightforward, like witnessing to the camera, to whoever's on the camera. But you pretty well covered
I
it
think
and
I saw-
everything else that you've
Yeah,
done.
yes, I did. Yeah, I think I did too. I do
was
too.
one thing, of course I don't really watch him that much, but when people come up, then they'll say, he usually says, you want to do the puzzle? And they kind of, okay, he said, well, just try to do the puzzle. And then, then they try, and then while they're doing it, then you tell them about it.
Mhm.
Because they've got to realize they can't do it
Right.
before, and they can't do it because there's only one way.
That's right. That's right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It-
it's different with each person now.
It is.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's
You're
very
a master at it. You
Yeah.
really are.
Yeah,
You-
it's
I mean, you really are good at it.
It's really good when especially we've had some professors come up, and they're telling their kids how to do
Oh
it,
yeah.
Yeah.
and they can't do it.
Yeah.
And
This
then
is-
he said,
I've
Bible
told
say-
several kids, this is tougher than it looks, man.
yeah, and Bob will say, well, would you like to do it? And I said, oh yeah, and they can't do it.
Yeah, what
That's
tickles me, a
so
lot of times
cute.
the children can't do it, and you see the parents standing back like that. Well,
Or they're telling them.
yeah, the child, the parents said, put that one over there.
Yeah.
If they can't do it either.
Yeah,
And then I invite them in.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.